Alright guys, just want to say about doing what you want in life. A lot of the time we get ourselves caught in ruts for various reasons, whether it's illness in family, getting into a steady job and never moving past that, or we are comfortable where we are but would rather be somewhere else. A lot of these reasons we create for ourselves, or others create them for us. And one of the things I remember when I made the first decision to move over to the Philippines is I just went, okay, that was it. I just made the jump, and then it's now over 10 years I've been travelling. You know, at the end of the day, you may think, well, you're not travelling, you lived in the Philippines, now you're living in Spain. But ultimately, if we decided to uproot and go somewhere else, we'd just simply do it. But it does take a bit of risk. The risk factors there, and it does get harder the bigger your commitments are. For example, having a wife and 2 kids. Plus, I do support some of the stuff back in the Philippines as well. You know, because obviously we've got a family life there as well. But ultimately, these are the sort of things that you get, I won't say roped into, they're just commitments that come along. But also you've got to understand that if you want to actually do something, or travel or do something, you've got to commit to doing it and make it happen. Because once you start getting into that, it'll just start falling into place. Because it's a bit like, who was it? One of my friends from out of Australia. She was she had a steady job and everything, but it was nothing fantastic. But the thing is, she was like, well, what if I lose my job? And it's like, but it's not. It's not a career. It's literally a job, and as such, it's not gonna give you something that's gonna inspire you to do something else. It's just gonna lock you into wasting your life doing it. I mean, it's up to her to make the final decision, but she did, and she's travelled a few places now. She went off to New Zealand first, which isn't a million miles away from the way of life in Australia, but then she's been doing bits of Asia and other places. But she now teaches English, and the funny thing is, like she says, her cost of living is less now, because a lot of the time the accommodation's tied in with the schools and that she's working with. But at the same time, she's earning less, but has more, because A, she's got more experiences, B, she's doing other bits and pieces online and private tuition outside of class, but it's still tied in with the school, so the schools still get their cut as well. But ultimately, she's much happier because she's out travelling the world, getting a bit of experience. I mean, it's sad that a lot of those jobs get locked into the under 30s, you know, maybe 35 max. Because I do think there's a lot of people out there that would benefit from sharing their knowledge and experience, and teaching people English at the same time. But it doesn't mean there isn't other stuff out there. I mean, I would say that although we have a population growth and there's a rise of automation, there's a lot of jobs out there that lack the skilled people. Nursing's one of those ones where you can transfer it to more than one country. Obviously, a lot of medical ones are like that. You know, you're a doctor, for example. But also engineering, oil, gas. I noticed in the Philippines they've just set up their first gas. I can't remember what the size of it is, but the point is, even the Philippines is tapping into its gas now, which is a step forward for the country, and I'm glad they're actually getting things together. I would say Duterte's actually, although a lot of people are critical on him, I would actually say he's done a lot more in the last 2 years than a lot of other people have done in the last decade, because the same people have been the power of the bee for the last decade, and I would say Duterte's done far more for the country, even though people like it or disagree. I think the reality is he is progressing. The sad bit on this is who's going to follow him after he goes. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. The main thing is, though, I do think if you want to get on in life, you've got to decide what you want to do, where you want to go in life, and realise that putting it off, the ifs, the maybes, the stuff where you go, well, what if something happens? What if my job isn't there and it doesn't work out? There's always jobs there, especially if your job isn't that good to start with. Let's be honest. If you're in a job that's fairly naff anyway, if you actually suddenly quit and went away for 2 years, travel the world and come back, you're telling me you couldn't find a job that'd be very similar? I mean, as simple as that. I mean, it's a bit like with Carillion. A lot of the guys from the engineering haven't gone back to engineering because they got fed up with the way the places are run. But at the same time, they're in demand. A lot of them just took early retirement or gone semi-retired, but they're dictating their terms. At the end of the day, companies are going, oh, you must do this, and they're doing what I do. It's like, there is no must. I don't must anything. If you want me in the office, I'll come in for 1 day a week, or one day a month or whatever. But the whole point is, don't expect me just to turn up at the office just so I can sit at the desk so you can see me. It's just stupid. It's expensive, mainly on my pocket. But yeah, you've got to decide what you want. Thanks for watching.